students and staff, and welcome to the Daily Morning QUAH.
I'm Sushi.
And I'm Derek.
We hope you have all enjoyed and took part in our Spirit Days this week.
And the countdown to midwinter break is only 6 hours.
And some of that time will be taken up by our next video.
Now it's time for an interview with Officer White.
Where were you born?
I was actually born in London, England.
London, England,
Yes.
okay. What made you join the IMS Panthers?
Well, I have been, first of all, my sons were in this QUAH school district, and so that's how I became familiar with it. And so I've been involved over at the high school for a few years now, and was looking to do something to work full-time, and this opportunity arose at the middle school here, and I was able to take advantage of it.
Okay. What is your favorite sports team?
My favorite sports team is actually the New York Mets, because I grew up in New York.
Okay. What was your favorite job you've ever had?
Favorite job I've ever had? Can I say this one?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, I'd say this one's probably my favorite that I've had so far.
Alright, who do you look up to the most?
Oh, well, I look up to my dad. He's been kind of my, one of my heroes for quite some time now. And he is 91 years old and he's hanging on there, so he's a really special man.
Okay.
All right?
Where is your dream vacation?
My dream vacation. Let's see. How about the beach in Australia?
Beach in Australia, okay.
Mhm.
What is your favorite food?
My favorite food, I like Italian, but I think when all is said and done, my favorite food is just a nice juicy steak.
Alright. Where did you go to college? Or did you go to
I
college?
did go to college. I started out at Iona College in New York, and then I ended up finishing at the University of South Carolina.
Okay. If you were not a security guard, what would you be?
If I was not a security guard, I probably would be an IT professional.
IT profession, okay. What is the craziest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh, the craziest thing I've ever eaten. So I've eaten a few crazy exotic things because I've traveled a bit. So I've had probably, if I had to say, either kangaroo
You've eaten kangaroo, okay.
in Australia or whale.
Whale,
I
interesting.
had whale in Norway.
Okay. Someone gives you an elephant. You can't sell or give it away. What do you do with the elephant?
Can I say that I would like to take it to its natural habitat and let it roam free?
Yeah. Alright. Would you prefer to eat your favorite food for the last time or eat your least favorite food every day?
Probably say my favorite food for the last time.
Tell us one thing we should know about you.
One thing you should know about me. You should know that I am the proud dad of two wonderful young men.
Okay, well speaking of your children, what is one thing you and your family enjoy doing together?
We enjoy traveling together.
Traveling, okay. Alright.
Okay.
Well, it was nice talking to you. Thank you for letting us interview you.
Did you know any of those facts?
No, I didn't.
And now it's time for the newest homeroom winners update.
In third place is Mrs. Joby's homeroom. And for the second month in a row, Mrs. Beck's homeroom takes second place.
Mr. Wickenheiser's class has the top spot for an astonishing third month in a row.
We are all caught up with homeroom leaders, so now it's time to learn more about this month.
Yes, this is Black History Month, and the next video gives us some insight into what this means.
November 14th, 1960, was the first day of first grade for 6-year-old Ruby Bridges of New Orleans. That was also a memorable date in American history. It was the first day of court-ordered desegregation of the New Orleans public school system. Back in 1954, the Supreme Court declared the racial segregation of public schools unconstitutional. More than a year later, some African-American parents in New Orleans sued the school board for failure to comply with the court's ruling. Finally, after almost 5 years of legal wrangling, a federal order was issued, demanding the gradual desegregation of New Orleans schools, beginning with the first grade. So, in November 1960, Ruby was one of only 4 black students starting first grade at the previously all-white schools. Ruby attended William Frantz Elementary. The other 3 went to another school. Federal marshals escorted Ruby past a rioting white mob into the building. All of the teachers except one refused to teach while a black child was enrolled. And within that first week of classes, nearly all of the white students in the schools had withdrawn. In Ruby's class, she and the teacher were the only 2, and it stayed that way for the rest of the school year. Despite the continued threats and retaliation against her family, Ruby remained at Frantz Elementary, and in 1961, she advanced to the 2nd grade.
What a remarkable story.
And you know what's the funny thing? We're not done with February yet.
Introducing on this day.
All we have for today.
See you next week.
Have a great day, IMS.
It's so wonderful, my life. Please could you say my name when the music's over? Kill the lights, tonight was such a sweet time.